Hello, hello, hello. How are we doing today, folks? Welcome to another episode of Garage Guys Sports Talk, Mountain West Football Edition, featuring myself, Ben Burnside, and my co-host with me tonight,
Jesse Allison.
Jesse Allison. You know it, folks, the Stat Man. And we are here tonight to give our predictions of next week's Mountain West Football Conference Week 3 for them, as they started late in their football play. And we will also be giving the results for Week 2 and discussing that intently. All righty, let's get started, Jess.
Let's do it.
All right, getting started with the best team in the Mountain West, Fresno State football, taking on Colorado State. Jess, you went into this in full great detail, I must say, a couple days ago. But, man, let's talk about this again, because this was a sight to see.
You know, and this is mostly for all the Dogs fans.
God.
The show that is. I mean, Jake Haener really looked like he came into his own. Kalen DeBoer's play calling kind of caught up with him. They both kind of caught up with each other. I think the offense was clicking. Ronnie Rivers obviously is the best player in the field. The defense looked pretty solid. They looked like they're still kind of a work in progress, but definitely a step in the right direction. With playing a team that was their first game of the season, we'll see how it is this next week playing a UNLV team that's already played 2 games. So we'll see what it's like to play a team that's already kind of molding who they are. Having said that, UNLV is probably the worst team in the Mountain West.
Yes, which is perfect for our team. Some momentum building, I call it. And, man, I didn't comment on the game on Thursday, but, man, that was a lot of fun to watch. I'm like, Ronnie Rivers, he's not that good. Are you sure? Like, he's NFL? Yes, he's NFL.
He's an NFL caliber player.
That stream of River is going straight to the first round, possibly. Who knows, man? Or at least a high round, because
I got him. Yeah, I got him third round.
Third round's a good round. Good God, he was running over some people in this game, and it was fun to watch. I remember, like, the third touchdown he had, 2 linebackers were darting at him, and they bounced off and was like, oh my God! And it was dark at night, and shit was wild there. But anyway, that was a lot of fun to watch, I must say. Good play all around. Everything was clicking.
The river was a-flowing.
The river was a-flowing, and there were some waves in that river, let me tell you.
Rapids.
Grand Rapids.
I think that's what you call them, right? Waves in a river would be rapids, I think, right?
I'm sure. We'll call it that.
Class 4, 5? Uh-huh. Which is it? Why don't you try putting those numbers together? That's right. I've shot a class 45, and I've never lost them.
We'll move on. It's not a geography show. We'll get.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Speaking of geography, 2 different ones in the next game, folks. The Hawaii Rainbow Warriors taking on Wyoming in an absolute blowout. I did not see this coming.
And I got to tell you, the Wyoming, I think, is going to be a dangerous team in the Mountain Division of the Mountain West over the next few years, just because that quarterback they have is a freshman. And he only threw the ball 18 times on Friday. But, like, I don't know. There's just something about that kid. Like, he already seems like a leader, and he's a true freshman. So, as a Dogs fan, I'm nervous to have to face Wyoming, like, next year and especially the year after.
Jesus, that's bad news, folks. Let me guess. He's from Fresno.
No, he's from Texas.
Oh,
he's from
God.
Texas. Yeah, thank God.
Oh,
We didn't lose another one to Wyoming.
embarrassing.
Another one to Wyoming.
We just did to Hawaii, but that's okay. All righty. Now, an interesting team to watch in Wyoming. All righty, let's get into Saturday's game, folks. And a number of them here. Let's first start off with the odds-on favorite for the Mountain West Conference, I would say. Boise State, number 25, taking on Air Force. A little bit more competitive than I thought in the score, but Boise State still scores nearly 50 points.
Yeah, this was my pick, the shellacking of the week. Air Force didn't really get shellacked as much as I thought they would. The Boise defense, I think, kind of let their foot off the pedal when they realized that they were going to win the game. So I think that has something to do with it. But for Boise, whether they have somebody in the transfer portal or quarterback or not, or have a new kid at quarterback, they always seem to be able to score points no matter who's playing the position or who they have playing for the offense, and it's crazy. I hope that Fresno State, I hope we win the West Division and that we play Boise State in the championship. I really do, because they're going to be a team to play, and yeah.
Boy, Fresno State, Boise State, the ultimate rivalry in the Mountain West, in my opinion. But boy, they are a team to watch, per usual. Next game, we have New Mexico taking on San Jose State. This game was originally supposed to be in New Mexico, but due to coronavirus concerns, they moved to San Jose. San Jose won 38-21, and heck of a game, I must say, scoring 38 points at home.
Yeah, they looked really good. Their quarterback looked fantastic. San Jose State, I think they're going to be a tough game for Fresno State come that rivalry game as well when they play for the Valley Trophy. I mean, it's going to be tough. Like, they were throwing the ball well. Their offense looks really tuned in. Yeah, and the Lobos they're kind of like UNLV. They're like the whipping team of the Mountain West. But yeah, the San Jose State looked really good.
Poor Lobos are almost like poor Matt Stafford. Next up will be San Diego State at Utah State, and this is another team to look out for, folks. San Diego State walloping Utah State at home, 38-7.
I absolutely agree, and I would go as far as to say that San Diego State might end up being the Mountain West champion and best team in the Mountain West.
Ooh.
Like that matchup with Fresno State is the most I'm worried about over any other team. Like, I'd rather face Boise State right now because they have some questions on their roster than I would San Diego State. Like, they look like a solid football team from top to bottom.
Ooh.
So look out for the Aztecs.
My God, I know. Boy, they seem to be getting the upper hand on us the last few years, but hopefully that won't be the case, even though they look powerful this year.
I hope so. Coach DeBoer looks like he's got something going with State, and Jake Haener looked really good. Ronnie Rivers looked good. Jordan Mims. The whole Fresno State looked good as a whole on Thursday, and that was on a short week.
Yep.
So I think that they got something going at State too.
An adapting team, Fresno State seems to be. They grew a lot from this past the last game. All right, final game that took place in the Mountain West Week 2. We had a state rivalry between Nevada at UNLV for the first game that took place with fans in Raiders Stadium.
Yeah.
37-19 was the score, Nevada.
Nevada looks pretty good this year. I think the first game they faced a freshman quarterback at Wyoming that's still getting his legs under him. And I think their second game, they, lucky straw, and they played UNLV, who over the past recent years has not been that good in the Mountain West. I know UNLV fans, some are going to see this and be like, fuck you, dude. Like, I'm sorry. I really am. But, like,
all two of them.
They're just, they're not very good.
Oh,
like, at least they have the Raiders there now with, like, an over 500 record. Like, I don't know. UNLV just isn't very good. Like, good on Nevada, for winning the game. But,
Those fans are rebels by name. They're supposed to rebel with this show.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. Nice try, UNLV. All righty. Let's get into week 3 of this week with some interesting matchups coming into this. But let's see. We will start with November 5th. Utah State going at Nevada. I got Nevada pulling out this win. I'm not very impressed with Utah State this year.
I think Nevada has a very solid team. I think Utah State historically at home is usually pretty good. I think they play well in Utah. I'm going to go I want to go with Nevada, but I'm going to go with Utah State in this one. I'm going to say home team wins.
All right. Be interesting, man. No, I will take Nevada in this win. I already said that. All right, next game will be Wyoming at Colorado State. I'm not very impressed with Colorado State either. I think Wyoming will take the win as a dark horse in this division.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because I really want to agree with Bid, but there is just part of my soul saying I think that Pat O'Brien showed enough against the second half of Fresno State. I think he will get the start, and I think Pat O'Brien is going to do enough with that offense, especially what I saw flashes against Fresno State. I'm going to take Colorado State against Wyoming in this game.
Ooh, I like that pick. Because I think Pat O'Brien, he could be in the NFL potentially.
I think so too. I think he'd be a draft. He was a big, like 5-star recruit out of high school or whatever. I think that he could be one of these guys that could make it to the league. But we'll see. We'll see if he even gets the start for the rest of the season. But
come on, that dude was terrible. Bring him in, damn it. All right, next game, we have an in-state rivalry between San Jose State at San Diego State. Yeah, San Jose State was good last week, but that was against the Lobos. This will be a trouncing, I believe.
I think this will be the closest and the best game in the Mountain West of the week.
Ooh.
As far as just conference play, I am going to take the Aztecs close. I'm going to take the Aztecs close, maybe even an overtime.
All right. Good call on that one. That'll be an interesting game to watch.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this game on Friday. We have BYU going at Boise State, an out-of-conference game for Boise State, I should say. And, oh, man, this is a tough game. They have their quarterback, their Heisman candidate quarterback at BYU, and BYU's on an ultimate roll. I got to go with the Cougars on this one. I think Boise State will get knocked out of the rankings.
I'm 100% with you, Ben, and I'm glad you said that. I think the edge, because Boise's kind of like they're starting a couple different dudes at quarterback this year, and they don't really know who's the starter. The Cougars, BYU knows who their guy is, and they go to him every single game, and every single game he manages to pull out a win for him. I think Boise's gonna play him well. But I think the Cougars pull out the win.
I'm impressed. Yes. That will be a fun game to watch. Stay tuned for that one. That will be on FS1, 7:45 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yeah.
Underrated time, I think. Next up, we have, finally onto Saturday's game, we have, of course, a military game, traditional here, Air Force playing an out-of-conference game at the Army. Who do you got for this one, Jess?
Mr.
Navy man.
Yeah, being in the Navy, I don't like to pick Army when it comes to anything, but I think Army has maybe the best military football this year. Like I think that they look the best out of all the officer academies. This is a close one though, because Air Force can actually like throw the ball somewhat, but they only threw the ball like 7 times on Saturday. They ran for like over 500 yards. And Army though, they have a pretty good defense this year. I'm gonna go Air Force. I'm gonna go with the conference.
All right,
I'm gonna go Air Force for a Mountain West win.
Man. This is a tough game because I don't know a whole lot about Army. I know that they're better than they seem. My gut's telling me Army, but I think this will be a very close game, and you are probably right, though. Air Force could definitely win this game. Toss-up. All right. Powering up here. Let's see. New Mexico going at Hawaii. Hawaii with a big loss last week after a Fresno State win. I see Hawaii getting back their confidence on this one, smashing possibly the worst team in the Mountain West.
Yeah, I think, and you joke about like, Hawaii and Wyoming are very different, but the way I think they're similar is Wyoming is a long trip for anybody to get to Cheyenne. And it's the same for Hawaii. They have such a home field advantage because first of all, you're going back into a different time zone, 3 hours difference. And, you're playing in a different environment, the humidity, everything else. It's hard for me to pick against Hawaii at home. It's just hard to win there. I pick Hawaii in this one.
Man, I do too. That's Cheyenne, Wyoming. That reminds me of a Western TV show my grandpa watches. Cheyenne. Beautiful song. A lot of acoustics. Cheyenne, Cheyenne. That's all I remember with the song. But
Cheyenne, Wyoming was a show that I was writing. It was going to be a follow-up to Hannah Montana.
oh, sweet. Hannah in Cheyenne.
Cheyenne, Wyoming, Hannah Montana. It's dumb. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Come on, spin off. Spin off. All right. Next game we have is our team going at it at UNLV at Raiders Stadium. My boy, Fresno State, his favorite college team. Raiders, his favorite pro team. Going to be in one sandwich against UNLV. A dream sandwich there. Fresno State at UNLV. Who you got for this one, buddy?
I'll say one thing. I only wish that the Raiders were home next week so that Derek Carr could be at this game. That being said, I'm always going Dogs, but I'm especially going Dogs this week.
Woo!
I don't think UNLV has the same talent that State has. I don't think they have the level of coaching that State has. And that defense is starting to play up, especially the defensive end combination and David Perales and Kwame Jones coming off both ends of the D-line, I think are phenomenal. There's a couple guys in the secondary that are really getting after it. The linebacking core for State needs to pick it up a little bit. The offensive line needs to play a little bit more consistent and try not to get as many holding calls as they did this last game. And, we can't keep getting in third and longs. Like this last game, obviously we worked our way out of it and a couple fourth down conversions as well. But a lot of third and 18s, third and 19s converted.
Yeah.
We can't do that every game. So I'd like to see them keep it at, third and medium to third and short, or just avoid third down altogether. But we'll see. I think that they're going to have a good showing. I think they're building off of this last win. Momentum's in their side. They had a long week off to prepare for a team they have some good film against in UNLV. And I think that they're going to beat the Runnin' Rebels pretty handily.
Some lucky but phenomenal catches last week. I forgot to mention that from Jake, from our quarterback, Jake. And we have some great wide receivers, Wheatfall and Josh Kelly. We got some serious talent in the wide
Josh
receivers.
Kelly's a freshman too. I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table in the next couple seasons.
Oh, yeah. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
All righty, guys. Well, those are our picks, and that is our show for this week. What did you guys think of those picks? Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment and like down below.
Leave a comment.
Subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe.
Damn it.
Hit the button. Subscribe, please.
Do you want me to sing Cheyenne for you? Because I will. I will bring out the weapons here.
Take it away, Ben.
Cheyenne, Cheyenne. Subscribe to our damn channel.
Subscribe.
Move along, Cheyenne. La 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 la.
And subscribe and like.
Cheyenne. Okay.
Have a good one, guys.